the mention of your name. Lord, I wanna be, Lord, I wanna be, Lord, I wanna be secret place. Lord, I wanna be, Lord, I wanna be,
Hello.
secret
Welcome
place.
to the
Lord, I wanna
Virtual
be.
Church TV show. So wonderful to have you here this evening. I'm your host, Neville Solomon, and I want to welcome you to another rendition of the Virtual Church TV show. Thank you for being here. For all of you who are here, it's wonderful having you. And I'm so thankful for all of you who are in the live stream and for those of you who are going to be watching in the replay. Welcome. Today I'm going to be talking on the subject of 7 signs of a true friendship. So we're going to be just diving right in and talking about the power of relationships and talking about 7 signs of true friendship. One of the reasons why I'm doing this discussion is because so many people have come to me and talked to me just about varying their relationships, whether it be spouses, whether it be family members, whether it just be friends, whether it be church brother and sisters, or just, maybe co-workers at work. So many people are having this battle trying to figure out and trying to find out who can they trust, who can they hang out with, and how can they find true friends. So today we're going to be talking about 7 signs of a true friend. 7 signs of a true friend. Just wanted to just read a comment from Georgina. She was just sharing that a good friend is dependable and loyal. They don't tell you what you want to hear, and basically they're there for you through thick and thin. So I think that's powerful, and that actually is going to be covering a few of the points that we're talking about today. But just wanted to say welcome. It's so wonderful having you here today, and I'm praying and believing that today's episode is going to be a blessing to you and that God's going to speak to you through this discussion. I'm hoping that you'll share some of your insights, some of your thoughts on this subject matter. So far, we already have received some thoughts in our live discussion. But if you're watching on the replay, feel free to write in the comment section and let us know some of your thoughts on this topic. One of the questions I would ask is, have you been blessed to have a good friend or a best friend or a close friend? And what are some of those things that you appreciate in those relationships? You can feel free to respond to that in the live chat. Or if you want to just write in the comment, just write in the comment section and let me know what are some of the blessings that you've received in having a good friend or having a best friend. I'd love to hear from you on that. But today we're just talking about 7 signs of a true friend. 7 signs of a true friend. It's so important for us to understand that finding a true friend, at times it can be a challenge. So many people find friends, and when they spend enough time with them, they figure out you are not a true friend, or even worse, you are a horrible friend. But today we want to talk about this particular topic, hoping to just shed some light so that we can have a deeper understanding of how to find good friends, but also to be able to just decipher the current friends that we have and see if we can pick out some people that are currently in our lives that are indeed good friends. So finding a good friend can be challenging at times, but when you do find a good friend, you can have a long-lasting friendship that can be in your life for decades to come. As a matter of fact, sometimes people are fortunate to have friendships from childhood into retirement. Very rarely does that happen, but it can happen. And even for those of us who are a little bit older, it's never too late to find an excellent and an amazing friend. Yesterday, I was a part of a wedding, and when I was listening to the bride speak, she was talking about a few of her friends that she met in adulthood. When I saw how close and how intimate their relationships were, I realized that it's never too late to find the best friend. So today we're going to be talking on this topic because I believe that by sharing this, you will be able to step out there and find a good friend. And even better for those of you who have had close friendships or who have had good friendships, you can feel free to write in the comment section and give us some of your advice, some of your thoughts. I'm going to share 7 thoughts here, some 7 major thoughts on how to find a true friend, but would love to hear your thoughts as well so I can add it to my list so that I can improve my life. And hopefully in the next teaching, we can begin to pull out some of those other thoughts that you might have shared today. So when it comes to finding a true friend, I'll just start right now. Number 1, true friends listen to you and offer emotional support. A lot of times we are in close proximity with people, or we might go to events with a person, or we might eat dinner with a person, and they might even call us their friend. But you recognize very, very, you know, you recognize over time that certain people are only concerned about themselves. They have no concern about you. When you're talking, they're not listening. They're waiting for you to stop talking so that they can talk about themselves. And there are so many people that are self-focused and they like you because you appear to be a friend to them, but they have no intention of being a friend to you. So it's very, very important that when we are seeking a friend, that we understand that a friend is a person that can listen to you. If you have a conversation and your friend never listens, danger, danger, danger. As a matter of fact, I'll even take it a little bit further. I have some friends, and these are actually friends who are very, very talkative. They talk like crazy. They love to talk. But there are moments in our conversation where they're silent and they actually listen. And they can recall my story. They can recall some of the things I went through, and they actually care about me. So even though they're very talkative, they're focused not just on themselves. They're able to listen when I speak as well. I also know some people who are very, very quiet people by nature. They don't really talk that much. But then when they're sitting down, they're talking with me. They're just talking about themselves. They're talking 1,000 miles a minute. Everything's about them. Everything's about them. Everything's about their children. Everything's about their life. Everything's about their ministry. Everything's about their work. Everything's about them. Everything's about them. And they have no thought at all to listen or to even recall anything about me. And I know that sometimes we go through those things as well, where we have people in our life who do not recall much about us. But I think that it's very, very important for us to be able to decipher true friends from false friends. Another aspect is in listening, because we're still at number one, is that they also support you emotionally. Support you emotionally. And there's many different ways of doing this, but I think one of the easiest ways to see if there is emotional support in a friendship is, does your friend make you laugh? Are you guys able to joke around with each other? Are you able to laugh with each other? Is your spirit able to be picked up? When you go on the phone and you talk to your friend, after the conversation is over, do you feel lower? Do you feel the same? Or do you feel more joyful in your spirit? If you feel more joyful in your spirit, then the chances are that's not just a friend, that's a good friend. If you feel just even keel, you feel a little bit better or even the same after you come out the phone, that's probably a friend. If you feel horrible after you come out the phone and you feel judged, then that definitely is at best a frenemy, but something could take the friend off, and that's what it is. Because sometimes people, they stay in close proximity with you, but they don't really emotionally care about you. And one of the ways that they show this is that they do not listen. People who do not listen to you, especially when it's not a family member, because I find family members, you have to judge it a little bit differently, because as family members, I find parents are not looking to be your friend. Kids sometimes are not looking to be your friend. Your brother and sibling definitely are not looking to be your friend all the time. So sometimes in family units, people don't listen that much, and they oftentimes don't support each other emotionally as much as they should. I'm not excusing that as it relates to behavior in the family, but I'm saying that in the family construct, people are not there because of friendship all the time. Sometimes they're there just because they're born into it. But when you choose a friend, you should not allow somebody to constantly ignore you and constantly have no care for you and remain a friend. They can remain around you, they can remain acquaintances, but you should come to the realization, this is not my friend. So it's very important for us to realize that emotional support is founded by people that listen. So it's going to read a few comments that are here, and then we can get back into our list. Benefits is loving their company, the respect, kindness they show you, and they aren't judgmental. Those are some benefits of friendship, and some that we're probably going to be covering as we move forward as well. If they don't spend time with you, they aren't your friend. And that's a major truth as well. If a person doesn't spend time with you, or every time you're supposed to meet, which is even worse, you set up time to meet with each other and they don't show up, then that's obviously not a friend. Sometimes it's hard to see. You go through some years of this, and then you finally see it. But I'm giving you the list, so you don't have to spend the years. You can just kind of write this list down, check out your friend, see what they do. So many things that have been shared are going to be in our list, but we're going to be covering it in more detail. So we talked about number one, that a true friend listens to you. And in listening to you, they provide emotional support. Number two, true friends stick around during the good times and the bad times. At first, when I was thinking this through, I was saying to myself in my study that, it's easy to hang around your friend in good times. And it's a little bit harder to hang around them in bad times. And the truth of the matter is, the more I thought about it, I think that most people lose more friends because of good times than because of bad times. When you start to excel in certain areas, maybe you're excelling in your education, or maybe you're excelling at work, or maybe you're excelling in your personal life, or maybe you're just growing personally, a lot of times your friends will leave you or they don't want to be around you anymore. They might even have comments to make because of the changes in your life. And because of that, sometimes friends will leave you when you're having good times. Another way that friends leave you during good times is sometimes when changes happen for them, when they get married, or when they get the education, or when they get the good job. They just drop you because they don't want you in their circle anymore. They don't feel like you are good enough to be in their circle, which is horrifying. So good times can oftentimes be a terror as it relates to friendship. But on the other side, bad times also work that way. So when you're going through hardship, when you might have lost maybe family, or lost a job, or lost your health, a lot of times people who are acquaintances will just leave you. They won't be around anymore. I've seen people who are very, very giving and very loving, and people are all around them as long as they're giving and they're loving. But once that person gets sick, boom, they're not there anymore. And it also works sometimes the other way around. You might have a friend who is going through difficulty or hardship, and you're close with each other, and you wouldn't judge them in the midst of their hardship. But as you try to help them, they draw back from you and they don't want you around them. So good times for you or for them oftentimes will lead people who are not friends to leave you. Bad times for you or for them will oftentimes let a person leave you if they're not truly your friend. But when you have a true friend, whether you're going through good times or whether you're going through bad times, they're always there for you. So I think it's very important for us to be aware of that and for us to focus on that, because good friends, they stick around you despite whatever changes happen in your life. If good things happen to you, they're still there. If bad things happen to you, they're still there. If you are excelling in leadership or excelling in your personal dream, so long as you make room for them, they're still there. And if you fall into a pit and life goes horrible, because even you made a horrible mistake, true friends don't leave you. One thing I don't like about church people is that when a person falls into sin, or when a person has a bad times, or when it looks like a person is dying or is sick or whatever, a lot of times people will leave you. And these are the people who are supposed to be spiritual, that are supposed to restore you. When they hear something bad or they see something bad, they just leave you. And I've come to the conclusion that I'm not going to be like that, especially with my friends. No matter what my friend goes through, I'm going to be there for them. Obviously, you're not going to agree with everything that people do, because sometimes people do wrong things. But at the end of the day, if you are a true friend, you will never leave a person when they're down, because you'll always remember that the reason why you're in their life is to pick them up when they fall. And even for yourself, you would hope in the best situation that if you have fallen or you're struggling, that they'll pick you up as well. So number 3, true friends celebrate life with you. True friends celebrate life with you. They prioritize you and put efforts into the friendship. So when you have a true friend, they celebrate you. When something good happens in your life, they're happy for you. When something good happens in their life, they share it with you and let you know, because they're expecting for you to celebrate with them and for them to celebrate with you. So true friends celebrate life with you. So sometimes you'll go out to eat, sometimes you'll just talk with each other, sometimes you'll go to events with each other. When something important or important milestones happen in your life and it's appropriate, you invite them to it. When they're having something important, you go to it, and you prioritize the other person because they're your friend and they're important to you. So I think it's very, very important for us to be aware of that, because at the end of the day, a true friend makes you feel comfortable in your own skin. You actually feel like yourself. You don't feel stressed. You don't feel like you have to pretend or that you have to make yourself a certain way, that you have to do everything in the correct way because they're judging you. When you meet a true friend, you feel comfortable around them because the atmosphere that they produce and you produce with them is an atmosphere of celebration, that you know that the person is going to support you and that you know that you're going to support that person, because true friendship is an atmosphere of celebration. So a true friend is a person that will lift you up. They will support you. They will not be jealous of you. When something great happens for you, they don't go to a back room and start crying to God and say, why is it not happening for me? A true friend is happy for you. They may want some of the things that you have if things are going well, but at the end of the day, they're happy for you and they're able to separate their desire from your success. When a person is not a true friend is that when they're trying to see how they can break you down so that you don't succeed, or even so that they use their mouth to let you know that what you've done is not that great. I remember one time I had a person who said that they're my friend. I wrote my first book and I showed it to him and he said, what's the big deal? This is just ink on a paper. I said, well, no, it's my book. It's just ink on a paper. Then I need prayer sometimes because I asked him, have you ever written a book? And he said, no. And I said, well, since you haven't written a book, I'm sorry, I can't really take your criticism very much because you have no place or no foundation to give it. So it's ink on paper to you, but it's a book to me. I'm an author. I'm going to go with what the author says and move forward. But the whole point I'm trying to say is that a true friend does not try to put down the things that you do. In fact, if anything, they try to promote it. They try to inspire you to do it better, but they never try to put you down because they're celebrating life with you. Anytime you find that you're around people who don't want to celebrate your life, and at times even their own life, because you should celebrate together, it's a danger because friendship is based upon celebration. It's not based upon jealousy and criticism. So we're going to be looking at a few more thoughts here now as we go through our list a little bit more. So what I like about true friendship is that the encouragement they give you to excel and to do better. That's what true friendship is. They encourage you to do better. And it says, I agree that if they celebrate with you, that's a great friend. And that's true. When you have a person who celebrates with you, that is indeed a great friend. Yes, a true friend always allows you to be yourself. And that's major because you need to be yourself if you're gonna have a true friend. If you're gonna grow in terms of your friendship, you need to have somebody who's able to celebrate you and celebrate with you, and even celebrate their accomplishments with you as well, because it's a mutual thing that you encourage one another, and that you lift one another up. So we're going to number 4. Number 4, true friends make time to see you. We talked about a little bit earlier that a true friend should spend time with you. If a person doesn't want to spend time with you, especially when they have the ability to spend time with you, that's definitely not a good friend. Now, sometimes, I have some friends who work, it seems like almost 24 hours a day. They're working like madness. So to hang out with each other and to spend time with each other may not work because of their schedule. But I have a feeling that if their schedule wasn't like that, they would be able to, or they would want to talk with me, spend time with me, get to know me. Sometimes distance as well, because if you're living in one city or even in one country and the person lives in another country or another city, it's kind of hard to see each other on a consistent basis, but that's where the telephone works. That's where WhatsApp works, Facebook and other things work, email. But at the end of the day, when you are a true friend, you make time to see your other friend. And when you're a true friend, you enjoy spending time with your friend because it's important to you. In fact, a part of reliability, a part of knowing that you can depend upon a person is when they show up, when they promise to show up. If a person promises to show up and they don't show up and they do it over and over again, you can't trust them. They're not reliable. And a lot of people who say that they're friends, they're not reliable. And what will happen, even in sometimes in spending time with each other, you'll notice that anytime they invite you to come to something, you're always there. So it appears like you're spending time with each other. But when you invite them to something, they never show up. So even though you're spending time with each other, you're spending time with each other primarily based upon your own personal effort. They're not really putting much effort into spending time with you. And that's a concern, something to look at and something even to address sometimes. Sometimes you have to address it with a person and let them know, hey, every time I invite you to something, you never show up. Every time I try to do something with you, you never show up. And, it's a concern to me. I would say I would make one caveat here, because just in my own experiences, there are some people, I'm trying to think of a better word than what's in my mind. What's in my mind is antisocial, but there are some people who are not people persons. They're not very personable. So people like that, sometimes it's hard to get them to come out and to meet with you. But in fairness, we can tell those kinds of people most of the times because they're not going out with anybody. So people like that, if you want to be a friend with them, you might have to just put up with not spending that much time with them. But at the end of the day, you can still confront them and talk to them about that, because a part of friendship is spending time with each other. So I think it's very important for us to talk about that, definitely. And a part of trusting and believing in a person is knowing that they are spending time, that they're taking time out to not just use you to enhance their life, but they're taking time out because they want to enhance your life, or they want to spend time with you and to encourage you and to just enjoy your friendship. So I think it's very, very important for us to make a note that mutual support and spending time with each other is very, very essential as it relates to friendship. At this time, I just wanted to show you a short video about our ministry and a book that I've written, and I hope that you enjoy. So check it out.
Well, now you can find the answer in this easy-to-read and engaging book titled 5 Benefits of Worship: Experiencing the Power of God Through Focused Praise and Worship. In this book, the author defines what it means to worship God and points you to what true worship looks like. Moreover, authentic Christian worship happens when you focus on God and give Him all the praise. It is through this life-transforming encounter with the greatness of God that people's lives are changed forever. As you, the worshiper, place your trust in the Lord, God responds to you by meeting your deepest needs. Worship is both a personal and public activity that allows you to connect with God. Worship is the point where mortality meets immortality. The mortal transcends from this natural realm into the supernatural realm of God, through which God's glory and power is brought down into the lives of men, which oftentimes invokes the Holy Spirit, manifesting in healings, testimonies, and miracles. This book is focused on worship within the context of praising God in your home and your local church. Despite many churches turning to online methods such as Facebook, YouTube, or Zoom to conduct weekly services, this book was designed to inspire you to connect with God, no matter what situation you find yourself in. The sophisticated yet simple insights contained in this book will help you to grow spiritually. Neville Solomon will take you into dimensions of worship beyond the peripheral knowledge of an average Christian, and will challenge you to engage in focused and love-filled worship towards your Creator. This work reviews the 5 major benefits of worship. Namely, 1. Worship as a fragrance. 2. Worship as a teacher. 3. Worship as a weapon. 4. Worship as a medicine. 5. And worship as a family business. I would admonish every Christian wanting to draw closer to God through worship to read and practice the principles of this book. Whether you are a passionate worshiper, a new believer, a pastor, or someone simply seeking to grow in your personal relationship with God, this book is packed with a philosophy that can shoot your life to the next level. It will help you to have an encounter of the revelation and transformation received at the spiritual altar of focused worship.
Just wanted to share that video with you. My book, 5 Benefits of Worship, is out right now, so feel free to go to Amazon. You can get yourself a copy, or if you like to go to my website, nevillesolomon.com, you can also order a book there as well. And I will leave a link below for those of you who are in the replay, so you can actually check it out. And you can let us know your thoughts as well if you visit my website, nevillesolomon.com, and just send me an email. There's a contact information that you can just fill out there, send me an email, and let me know your thoughts, not just about the book, but your thoughts about our conversation here in general, or if you have any other thoughts or any other conversation you'd like us to talk about in the future. So today we're talking about 7 signs of a true friend. 7 signs of a true friend. We talked about a number of signs already. So we talked about, number 1, that true friends listen to you and offer you emotional support. True friends stick around during the good times and bad times. True friends celebrate life with you. And true friends make time to see you. So number 5, true friends will be honest with you. A true friend is a person who tells you the truth, not to hurt you, but they tell you the truth because in order to be a true friend, you can't allow people to not progress in life. You can't allow people to make the same mistakes over and over again. You want to see your friends grow. So it's very important for us to be honest with each other. The one thing is that all of our friends are a little bit different in their nature. So you have some friends who are a little bit abrupt and straightforward. So when they say something to you, it might hurt a little bit. But when you can understand their heart and their intention, you can take that correction in a much better spirit. You have other friends that are a little bit more style-like in terms of being able to give you a compliment along with a criticism and a compliment so it doesn't feel so bad. But at the end of the day, true friends will always tell you the truth. When they see that you're not trying your best, they'll tell you the truth. And when they see that there's some spinach stuck in your tooth, they'll tell you the truth and say, hey, there's spinach stuck in your tooth. So if you're at lunch or dinner or at any eating event and there's a bunch of food stuck in your mouth and nobody's telling you about it, you can assure yourself that those are not very good friends. So at the end of the day, it's very important for us to understand that true friends will be honest with us. Sometimes the honesty will not feel good because we might have a thought in our mind and feel that our friend should support it or agree with it. But if they truly don't agree or support it, if they're a true friend, they're not going to pretend like everything's fine. They're going to let you know what? I don't really support that particular thing that you're doing because I got to be honest. And it doesn't mean that your friend is right, because sometimes our friends can be incorrect. But at the end of the day, you really want a person who feels comfortable talking to you and letting you know what's really in their heart. Because whenever you have people around you that just say yes, 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 yes all the time, sooner or later what's going to happen is when they get tired of you, they're going to leave you when you need them the most. When you get into crisis, they're going to leave you. So you want to have people that can be honest, that can tell you the truth, that can tell you some of their frustrations, because sometimes in friendships, in order for your friendship to remain, there needs to be some course correction, there needs to be some change. For example, I know a lot of times friends will invite another friend someplace, and that person will come all the time. And then on that one occasion when they invite the other person, that person doesn't show up, and they're angry about it. But they don't say anything. And to me, I think when you don't say anything, you're not being a true friend yourself, because you need to let people know when you're frustrated. You don't have to be frustrated or be rude or yelling when you're going through the situation. But when you are frustrated, you need to accept it and to let people know I am frustrated, to let people know I am struggling, so that the honesty will be able to be a part of the friendship, and friendship is made strong through honesty. The one caveat that I'm going to say here as it relates to being honest is that you're not honest for your own benefit. You're honest for the benefit of your friend. Or another way of putting it is that when you have a friend who's being honest to you, you need to measure whether they're being honest with you because they want to support you and build you up, or whether they're being honest with you because they want to show you up and to show how right they are. I have had a few people in my life who always love to tell you how right they are. They always focus on how they're right, how they're right. And the correction is not so much to help you. The correction is to harm you and to make you feel bad about yourself so that they can look good. That's not what we're talking about here. What I'm talking about here is that a friend corrects you for your benefit and not for their own. So I'm going to look through a couple of thoughts that were just shared. So when you have a friendship, the feelings should be reciprocated. And then when it comes to needing your friend's help, once they can help, it should be without reservation or the need for reward. And when they're before your face or behind your back, they should always be your friend. So people should say similar things or the same thing behind your back that they're saying to your face. People shouldn't be praising you in your face and talking bad about you in your back. As a matter of fact, it even goes the other way around, because I have one friend who was I shouldn't say friend. I had one person who was very, very negative to me all the time in my face. And then behind my back was praising me to everybody, talking about how all the good things about me behind my back, but they never said it to my face. And it's hard to embrace a friend when they don't have anything good to say to you. So to me, I know people have all kinds of hangups, they have all kinds of their own personal issues. But at the end of the day, if you cannot compliment somebody, especially someone that's your friend, you are not a friend. You are a person who's concerned about yourself and you're not concerned about your friend. And if you have someone in your life who and once again, I'm going to push this about friendship, because family is complicated. Family is complicated because at the end of the day, you want your family to be your friend, but that's not always guaranteed. So friendship and family are a little bit different. At the end of the day, I want my family to function as friends, but you can't really make it happen. But when it comes to friendship, now, if I'm forming a friendship with a person outside of my family and I'm seeing that, hey, this person is not very supportive, or even when this person is correcting me, they're not correcting me to help me, they're correcting me to harm me. Sometimes I have to get rid of that friend and find a good friend. Or if I have a friend who never ever corrects me, just like, oh yes, everything's yes, everything's yes, everything's yes, and my life is not going well, and they're in support of my life not going well. When you're in something like that, you probably have to start thinking about your friends and your friendship. I always look to see if they are intentionally trying to hurt me. Then I know if he or she is or isn't my friend. And that's the kind of thing, is that people who are trying to intentionally hurt you for no reason, they're dangerous and they're not your friend. But I think that sometimes we have to be careful as well, because some of the people who can hurt us deeply, they're actually trying to help us. I can think of some situations, some advice given to me as it relates to being a man and so forth by other men. When I was younger, very, very hurtful, like it hurt me. But as I've gotten older and I remember that advice and I remember how it changed me in the positive, even though it was harsh, it was true and it helped me. Because something, you're a teenager, you just want to relax, you don't want to work, you just want to watch TV. And some of the brothers from church are hard on you, tell you to go work, go get a job, stop living off your mom and stuff like that. And like you're like 12, 14, like you're supposed to live off your parents at that age. But by instilling the need to provide for yourself at that age, it didn't feel good. But as a man, and I can provide for myself, I feel good. So sometimes people will say things to you and be honest to you, and it doesn't feel so good. But at the end of the day, it's good for you. So I was just going to move on to number 6. True friends encourage you to achieve your goals in life. Your friends believe in you and want you to reach your true potential. It's very, very important, because a friend who really is there for you, they're not satisfied if you never progress. They want to see you progress. And a lot of times your friends know things about you that other people don't know. Like your friends know your gifts. They know your abilities. They know your strength. They know your weaknesses. They've seen you in different environments, and they've seen you in places where you thrive, and they've seen you in places where you struggle. But at the end of the day, a true friend wants you excel, to excel in your goals, to excel in your gifts, to excel in life. They want you to do better and to be better. So it's very, very important that we understand that true friends desire that you meet your goals and exceed your goals. It's very, very important for us to understand that. And number 7, true friends like you for who you are. They accept you for who you are and respect your boundaries. They won't try to change you, but they won't accept you not being the best you can be. They don't want you to change your nature or to become a different person or to become like them or to submit to them and their will. They want you to be yourself, but they want you to be the best version of yourself. So I think it's very important for us to understand that, because so many times we meet people who are trying to change us, or people who are talking to us as if what we have and who we are is not good enough. But at the end of the day, all of us need to grow. And there is a place, I believe in God, that God inspires us to be more and more like him. So we do need to grow. But in doing that, we still don't change the essence of who we are. I'm a person who is in love with the word of God. I love to preach. I love to sing. I love to worship God. That's who I am. And some people, they don't like the loud expression of worship. Tone it down. Or some people, they don't like the way that I preach, and they think that there's a better way to do it, and they want to convert me to become like somebody else. But I say, no, if that's what you want, you're not my friend. And it seems like very simple things that we're talking about, but these are things that cause our lives to be in turmoil. Where we bring people into our life who are not true friends and who accentuate negativity instead of trying to cause us to grow and to be who we are, it causes all kind of confusion in our life. And so many people are hurt, are deeply hurt internally, because they don't understand why in the world, the people who are saying that they love them are not truly supporting them. And when your mind is not clear, you have a tendency to think there's something wrong with you, as opposed to recognizing that people who violate these 7 principles are not your friend. Sometimes you know people from childhood, or you admire a person because of their ability, or you have mutual friends who have kind of marketed to you to make you think this person is so great. And when you see how nasty and rude and out of order they are, you interpret it that you're misunderstanding them. But a lot of people who are out there are no good, and they're not good friends, and they're not good people. But because we have this mindset generally that's negative about ourselves, we accept a lot of unhealthiness in the spirit of other people into our lives and take that as honest assessments. People who don't want to listen to us, we take it as, I don't have anything good to say. Yes, you have something good to say. They're just rude and they don't have any manners. I've sitting down for hours, tens and thousands of hours, listening to people who do not have anything to say. And if I can sit down and listen to a person who does not have anything to say and they're not my friend, surely I can sit down and listen to my friend no matter what they're talking about. So when a person doesn't listen to you, it's not so much that there's a problem with you, it's that there's a problem with them. They're rude and they are self-focused and they have the inability to be a friend. And we can go through this list one by one. And at the end of the day, what I'm saying is, many times we take the assessment of other people and we don't evaluate them. So we think that because, this person's not my friend, there's something wrong with me. When in fact, the reason why the person's not your friend is because there's something wrong with them. And even worse, sometimes when you don't pull yourself away from those kinds of relationships, good people don't want to be around you. Because the one thing that good, intelligent people have discovered is they don't want selfish people who are full of pride around them. And if you're around those kinds of people, they will stay away from you. Not because they think that you're like that, but they don't want to have any access to the people that you have access to. So I think it's very important when we're talking about friendship is to recognize these 7 principles and to recognize the many principles that are in our life, that are in ancient history, that are in the lives of those who may be around us, or even when you read about the lives of other people and you see certain principles that they establish in their life. It's very important for you to see that it's in that principles that are correct around friendship, you don't violate it. Do not let unhealthy people cause you to feel as if it's impossible to have good people in your life, or it's impossible to meet good friends, because it's not. It's just the one problem is that people who are really, really healthy have have developed structures to ensure that unhealthy people stay away from them. So the more we hang around unhealthy people is the more we become unhealthy. And then it makes it difficult for us to make friendships with good people because they want to stay away from those kinds of spirits and those kinds of mentalities. Um, I just wanted to just review a few things with you and then we'll look at some questions. So, like I said earlier, the 7 signs of a true friend. Number 1, true friends listen to you and offer you emotional support. Number 2, true friends stick around during the good times and the bad times. Number 3, true friends celebrate life with you. Number 4, true friends make time to see you. Number 5, true friends will be honest with you. Number 6, true friends encourage you to achieve your goals in life. And number 7, true friends like you for who you are. Anyone who violates these, especially when they violate them grossly, are not a true friend. And in fact, most of the times, they're unable to be friends with anybody because they're self-focused, selfish, and about themselves. And we need to get away from these people because they will infect us and cause us to have a negative view about people. Sometimes I don't want to meet new people or meet new friends, not because there's anything wrong with them, but because when you've been around users long enough, you've been around negative people, you've been around prideful narcissists, you just want to stay away from people. But at the end of the day, there are 6 billion coming towards 7 billion people on the earth. And not all of them are problematic. As a matter of fact, a lot of them are really good. It's just that we need to find new ways, especially coming out of the pandemic, to find new ways to shake off the old and the unkind and the unnice and begin to engage people who have a proper spirit and people who can be true friends, listeners, supporters, people who have a kind heart, people who are honest, not to break you down, but honest to build you up. And we need to reach out and to change our friendship circles. So I just wanted to share that with you because I know that a lot of times people have come to me in many different areas and asked me, how can I identify if a person's a good friend? And these are some of the ways that you can identify if a person's a good friend. So let's just read a few of the comments. So a good friend doesn't make you feel isolated, lonely, and or make you feel unneeded. That is so true. I love how they make me have a sense of belonging and purpose. That's a true friend. A true friend, you could be by yourself and feel confused, feel frustrated, have a bad day. And by the time you talk to them and finish the conversation, at minimum, you feel better. And at best, you feel like you're doing well, like you're doing amazing. So it's very, very important for us to get to that point to recognize that in the midst of the challenging life that we live, there are some people that are in this world that can be a support through the tough times. They help to reduce your stress and boost your happiness. That's true. And you don't need everyday conversations to know that they are there for you. That's true. When you have a really, really, really good friend, even though this is not typical, but so some good friends, especially when they live far away, some good friends, you might be able to talk to them maybe once or twice a year. And every time you talk to them, it feels like you have never been apart. It's like you just click. And even a more new thing as well for me is once in a while I meet somebody, like it's my first time meeting them. Don't know them, never heard of them, just by chance meet up with a person, maybe through an event or through another friend. And as you talk to them, right in the midst of the conversation, it's like you feel like you've known each other for years. Good spirit. First day that you meet them, they're listening. First day that you meet them, they accept you for who you are. First day that you meet them, it's like they're able to talk to you about some of the mistakes that you make and correct you, and still have a pleasant spirit to build you up and to support you in your goals. And this is the first day you meet a person. And sometimes we have friendships that come immediately. Sometimes other friendships take some time. But at the end of the day, I think that some of these suggestions are helpful because we live in a world that so many times we desire to do what is right, and we do what is right. And we think because we do what is right, that something that is right is going to come back in our return. But when you do right with an evil person, the only thing that's coming back to you is evil. As a matter of fact, even when you do wrong with a good person, usually if they're strong in their spirit, goodness will come back to you. So the key is not so much just what we do. The key is also to focus on friendships with people who have a good spirit. Because in having a friendship with people who have a good spirit, then you have a much, much better opportunity to invest your time and energy in them and help them, and for them to invest their time and energy in you and to help you. So I think it's very, very important for us to understand the signs of a true friend. And then when we see a person violating it, have the comfort level to not be their friend anymore. Now, not being a person's friend doesn't mean you don't talk to them anymore or you don't hang out with them anymore. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying that to have that emotional dependency upon them, to trust them when you're in a crisis, I'm going to go to this person. Know that when you come to them in a crisis, they're not going to help you. In fact, many of them will probably hurt you. So before there's a crisis, know who is there to support you and test it sometimes. Because you got to know if a person is going to support you before there's a crisis, because when there's a crisis, it's not a good thing when you're looking for support and you're in a crisis. So what I wanted to do is I just wanted to share a time of worship with you. And then we're going to come back and talk a little bit more on this subject matter. But I'm so thankful and so happy to be able to just share on this word with you. And I'm praying that it's been a blessing to you. So let's get into worship. God bless.
Give me you. Everything else can wait. Lord, give me you. I hope it's not too late. Lord, give me you. Lord, give me you. Lord, give me you. Lord, give me you. One more time, give me you. Give me you. Everything else can wait. Lord, give me you. I hope it's not too late. Lord, give me you. 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 me you. Lord, give me you. Lord, give me you. Lord, give me you. Give me you. Give me you. Everything else can wait. Lord, give me you. I hope it's not too late. Lord, give me you. Lord, give me you. Lord, give me you. Lord, give me you. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. It's such a good thing to celebrate and worship the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Lord, give me you. I guess before we close, the best friend that you can have is Jesus. Jesus is a listener. He is a supporter. He is someone who accepts us for who we are, but challenges us to become the best that we can be through his spirit. And at the end of the day, Jesus is the best friend that we could have. And I think that when you can understand how he supports us and how he's there for us, we would want to model all of our friendships off of how Jesus operates in our life, but also we want to be a friend to those that are around us in much the same way that Jesus is a friend to us. At the foundation of friendship is a spirit of love. At the foundation of friendship is a spirit of acceptance. But most of all, at the foundation of friendship is a need to see a person become like Christ, to become whole, to become who they're meant to be. So today I just wanted to encourage you to always remember that no matter what you're going through, there's a friend that sticks closer than a brother, and his name is Jesus. Also, no matter how lonely you may feel, God has provided around you a group of people who will support you. But it's very important for us to be able to decipher between those who are for us and those who are against us. Many times we'll make a mistake and we'll think someone who's for us is for us, and then later on we find out that they're against us. But it's good to know these signs, these 7 signs of a true friend, because when you see a person violating, many times it's not just one, many times it's all 7. When you see a person violating it over and over and over again, hopefully you can overcome the emotional challenges in that feeling to see that a person who should be your friend is not your friend. But once you can see, it gives you the choice to be set free and to allow God to lead you and to guide you into better and more powerful friendship. This is not just for friends. This is also in relationships. If you're a single person and you are engaged in a relationship or starting a relationship, looking towards marriage, and you're seeing a person is violating all of the concepts of friendship, you got to rethink that and maybe step back and step out and pray for God to make another way for you, because people have a tendency not to change. A person who doesn't listen to you for 10 years is not going to listen to you in the next future 10 years. A person who doesn't support you for 5 months is probably not going to support you in the next 5 months. So when you see the violators and the violation of friendship, take it seriously and pray and ask God to bring into your life people who are real, people who are true, people who have a clean heart. Even within church, sometimes you're in church and you'll see people, groups of people violating all the principles of friendship. The 7 signs of a true friend are not in them, probably not even 1 sign. So take that as a heed and realize that even though you might be brothers and sisters, spiritual family, you're not friends. At the same time, sometimes even with natural family, you might be natural family, but you're not friends. Natural family, because this is my last word, natural family, I don't believe you should ever give up on natural family, because God put you in that family for a reason. But it's unique in the sense of that they may not desire to be your friend, or they may not be your friend, or they may not be trustworthy. But you have to love them because of your family. You have to care for them because of your family. But that is a unique situation. When it comes to friendships, a person who's abusive and mean and rude, I don't have to be in friendship with them. You can choose your friend and you can get rid of your friends. You can have a good friend, and say, I don't want you to be my friend anymore. So if you can do that with a good friend, which I advise against, if you do that with a good friend, then sure you can do it with a bad friend. So sometimes you have to say to somebody, nope, friendship, not working with me and you. So one thing I hope that you get out of this video is to evaluate your friendships. If you see a huge violator of these principles, pray to God, and maybe God wants you to say to them, hasta la vista, goodbye, no more friendship. Because too many years of your life are being wasted with people who do not respect your life. So this video, and perhaps even other videos in the future, will be delivered to you for the purpose of causing you to save more of your life and to invest more of your life in God and in the people who are godly. Do we have to care for people who are lost? Of course. Do we have to care for people who are not our friends? Of course. But we don't want to invest the deepest parts of our life. We don't want to be in crisis and going for help and being further harmed when we go for help. Help us as we become stronger, or perhaps as we're strong. Help us to have lifelines of true friends who can build us up, who can listen to us, who can hear our dreams and support us, who will even trust us with their dreams and talk to us about their dreams, and hopefully we can support them. But at the end of the day, I want to encourage you to trust in God and to believe and to know that you can do all things through Christ. So I'm going to close, and I just want to close in saying that let God be your friend, and let the 7 signs of friendship be a map to bring you to true people in your life so that you can grow personally, grow spiritually, and encourage and help your friends to grow spiritually. But for those who are wasting your time, for those who are cruel, for those who are not right in their spirit, it's time that you recognize that they're not your friend and that your job is to do good to them because God did good to you. But your job also is to find friends that can mentor you, that can help you in times of need so that you can help those who are not your friends. So anyways, hopefully that this message has been a blessing to you. And I pray that you have a wonderful evening and that you share this video with friends, family, and others. So if you do have a best friend, leave in the comment section and tell me a little bit about why that person is your best friend. If you do not have a best friend, leave in the comment and let me know if there's any principles here that are helping you to be able to find a friend. And if you're just struggling and need prayer, you can feel free to leave a note in the comment section, or even better, you can go to my website, NevilleSolomon.com, and send us a note, and we'll come to our email and we'll pray for you. Because I know sometimes some people feel isolated and they feel lonely and they really need some help. So I'm open to being your friend if you're open to being mine. But anyways, God bless you and have a good night. Bye-bye.
Give me you, everything else can wait. Lord, give me you, I hope it's not too late. Lord, give me you, Lord, give me you, Lord, give me you, Lord, give me you. One more time, give me you. Give me you, everything else can wait. Lord, give me you, I hope it's not too late. Lord, give me you, 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 Lord, give me, Lord, give me you, Lord, give me you, Lord, give me you, Lord, give me you, Lord. Everything else can wait. Lord, give me you. I hope it's not too late. Lord, give me you. Lord, give me you. Lord, give me you. Lord, give me you. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Such a good thing to celebrate and worship the Holy Spirit. Amen.